What's up, you guys? After Reacts here, and today I'm going to be reacting to some more Stargate SG-1. This is Season 7, Episode 3. We have Daniel back again. Let's go over the comments from last week. That look on your face when we found out that Daniel had amnesia, rolling on the floor. But were you laughing? I loved the battle of ages that Jack had with the old man in the village. It also kept making me laugh every time Daniel called Jack Jim. Jack looked so hurt, yeah. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just starts calling him Jack again. I don't know. When Jack mentions maybe the amnesia just put you here, you say they could have just put you in the SGC. They could have just given him some clothes. Dude was naked. What was that about? Poor guy. Could have caught a cold. Were they so petty that they were body shaming him? Good luck on that. Man, I don't know. Of all the people for Daniel to ask about, Shaira, he asks Tilk, the dude that killed her. Oh god, yeah, I forgot about that. Awkward. Yeah, no, you're right. So the plan is to launch a fighter against the planet-destroying giant spaceship by flying close to the surface, fire a missile down a ventilation shaft to blow up a power supply. Deja vu, anyone? Jack even makes a joke saying he would want to be called Red Leader. We all know why they're having problems. No Han Solo there to shoot at Darth Vader's ship, for that matter. Right, because I didn't understand what was going on in the first place, so that just made no sense to me still. Anubis has that spike brain implant thing, bad enough for Thor, but Jonas's head is a third of the size of his, and he just got over his brain surgery from his tumor. Oh my god, I forgot about that. That dude is going to have a headache if they don't rescue him quick. Trust me, I know. Sorry in advance for the long comment here. Alright. You're forgiven. As for Daniel going to talk to Tilk after remembering Shaira, I know that it's Sharai. I'm not stupid, I know that, but I just find it funnier to call her Shaira because of Smallville. I believe it was supposed to be in the middle of the night, and everyone else that knew Daniel closely was at home. Tilk is made to live on the base, so he's there 24/7 when not on mission. Well, that makes sense. Actually, that makes a lot more sense. Thank you. I agree that in real life, Daniel would be a liability on that mission. He only remembers some stuff, and any key point, there could be something they did not plan for, and he doesn't remember, and jeopardizes everything. Not to mention that if he got captured, what knowledge could still be in his head that Anubis could download. Absolutely. 1000%. I always felt that for not being able to remember anything at all for months, Daniel got his memory back way too fast once he got back to the SGC. But in the audio commentary for the episode, they said that they wanted the memory loss to show there was some consequences for Daniel's actions on Abydos, but they were faced with two choices. The rush job they did to restore most of his memories, so they got back to the action, or slow burn of him remembering, which slows down, or perhaps stalls the story, and they chose the first option. I mean, they could have had other consequences, just saying. Memory is not always a consequence. You literally could have just had him not remember anything from being an ancient. Like, that would have been fine. As for, like, actual consequences, I don't know. Maybe he has headaches now. I don't know. Just give him some other thing. The amnesia rush job was stupid. It did not add to the story at all. I get that you wanted consequences, but I mean, it's only a consequence. It's only a real consequence if it actually lasts. It becomes not a consequence if he gets his memory back really quickly. Is it really a consequence? It needs to be something that like actually sticks with him longer than 5 minutes for it actually to be classed as a consequence, in my opinion. One last thing, the whole scene of Jack and Sam in a 302 trying to shoot a cooling vent to take out Anubis' super weapon was made as a homage to Luke's trench run against the Death Star. Well, I did not get that because, one, I didn't really know what was going on. Because, I don't know, I didn't know Dak was stupid or something. I really feel like that episode was not very clear with all of a sudden they had like this giant plan and I was very confused. And two, did I have two things to say about it? Because I don't remember. I'm not big on Star Wars, so I wouldn't have put that together. I've seen I've seen a lot of Star Wars. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, no. I think you were right the first time. It was, hey Ben, eat my fist. Oh, so fucking stupid. What is it? Teal'c taking the initiative to get the U forces back on track. He's come a long way from the guy who only raised his eyebrow and said, indeed. I mean, he literally does that every episode, so it's not really a long way. Like, yeah, the whole amnesia thing didn't really do much. The writers could have just had the ancients erase all the knowledge they gave him, but then again, they left him naked physically, so why not mentally too? Yeah, but it doesn't do anything for the story. That killer when leader was a dick. Good riddance. Yes, screw that guy. Anubis just got teabagged by Ball? Really? I don't know. Jonas Quinn, the seat warmer lol. I guess the budget wasn't there for the two ancient law dudes. Michael Shanks did not initially plan on returning to the show, but he was able to reconcile his differences with the producers, so Jonas was supposed to be a permanent replacement, but when Shanks returned, it just feels kind of icky to me, to be honest. I don't know. As for why Jonas told Daniel to feed my fish, I looked up online why he said that, and the only answer I could find is so they wouldn't starve? Shake my head. I was looking for something a little deeper. I mean, why didn't he take his fish with him? If that was actually a thing. Like, if he actually had a fish, why don't you take your fish with you? It's your pet. Jonas, hey Daniel, feed my fish. Yeah, I got that in the end. It did not sound like that to me, though. It did not. Tell me like you can hear what I heard after I told you what I heard. Nope, there are no mistakes on your end. The episode was simply wasn't meant to be entirely centered around the amnesia plot. That's why halfway through the first episode, we had moved on to dealing with Anubis' new super weapon, as he was still dominating the remaining system lords. And as it has been stated in the past, one all-powerful system lord is worse than a whole bunch of system lords fighting each other. So in an extremely rare event, the SGC, the Tok'ra, and the system lords, Baal and Yu, teamed up to take down Anubis. Unfortunately, it looks like he escaped, of course, because, you know, that's what happened with, that other system lord that I thought was the bad guy for, like, the first 5 seasons, and I don't remember his name. The snake dude. He's snake dude. Anyway, he got away a bunch of times before he was killed. It just seems to be a common occurrence here. Apophis! That was the name. I've seen the show. I'm sorry if that hurt people's ears. I just needed to, you know. Anyways. Unfortunately, it looks like he escaped, but at least his new super weapon was destroyed. While the amnesia plot wasn't essential to the story, wiping Daniel's memory and any knowledge he acquired as an ascended being absolutely was. Yeah, they could have just done that. As we can see with Anubis, just how powerful you can become when you have access to such knowledge. Rude that he gets to keep his, but okay. However, if Teal'c is right about Oma wanting Daniel to regain his memories one day, then she might be trying to indirectly help without the others knowing. This would explain why Daniel has retained the ability to read ancient, demonstrated by the fact that he was able to read the ancient tablet about the lost city in the briefing room. I had a fleeting thought there and it's just gone now. Am I okay? I don't know. This would explain why indirectly helping without others knowing. This would explain why Daniel. Oh my god, my brain. Okay, I'm gonna read that section again. Maybe I will remember. Apparently I am having amnesia. While the amnesia plot wasn't essential to the story, wiping down his memory of any knowledge absolutely was. As we can see with Anubis, and just how powerful you can become with such knowledge. However, Teal'c is right about Oma wanting to regain his memories one day, then she might be trying to indirectly help without the others knowing. This would explain... Okay, so here's my flaw. I just remembered. Okay, Daniel died. This is his second chance. He literally gets to come back to life, by the way. I don't know if you guys realized, but he died. And he gets to come back to life. Because he got to be, like, somehow some powerful being for a moment. Anyways, that's all I want to say. During the group meeting at the SGC, when the plan was being explained, the Tok'ra woman said Anubis protects his computer systems with ciphers coded in the oldest known ancient dialect. Other than Anubis, not many people would understand or be able to translate ancient, let alone an old dialect of it. Lucky for us, we have a former ascended being who somehow retained the ability to read and understand ancient. This is why Daniel was needed on the mission, despite his memory not being fully restored yet. I mean, yes, but it was still a liability. Just saying. I mean, they could have had him, like, radio in. I'm just saying. I don't know. On Jonas leaving, I think the issue with it, that it wasn't made clear story-wise why he was leaving exactly. So the vibe just kind of came across as, well, he joined the team to replace Daniel, and now he's back, so, well, awkward. Yeah. Yeah. He literally was, like, a replacement, and now he's just gone. A much better exit, in my opinion, would have been a scene between Jonas and that female ambassador, just after Jonas had helped save his world from attack from Anubis. In the scene, the ambassador would try to convince Jonas to return back to his world, explaining to him just how much that they need him and how wrong they were to consider him a traitor. It would have been a beautiful contrast to the way he left the world, stealing Naquadria and leaving as a traitor, but returning as a hero with all the knowledge and experience he had acquired through his 1 year with the SG-1. That's basically what they implied with that, like, one line about him returning as not a traitor anyways. I still don't think that works. He's still just a fucking seat warmer, which is really rough, because I liked Jonas as a character. Like, he, like, surprisingly, like, I kind of liked him. Like, a lot of the time, TV shows introduce characters late in the series, and it just like, it's like, how am I supposed to care about you? I don't know who you are. And I feel like they did a pretty good job with him, but it's kind of rough that they just, oh, Daniel's back, let's kick this guy out. I know this was essentially said at the gate room, but it wasn't good enough for me. At that point, he was already leaving, so I was confused, and whatever the ambassador said, it didn't feel special at that point. I mean, they could have had sprinkles throughout the episode, which would have made a lot more sense as well. You know, mentioning, oh, we've missed you, or I don't know. It was a very, harsh turn at the end, I think. I needed a dedicated scene between them beforehand where some convincing was being done. I agree. As to whether Jonas would be convinced to return, I believe he would be. I don't know. Ultimately, that is his world, and he couldn't return because he was considered a traitor. And so he decided to join SG-1 to help his world in a different way by joining the fight against the Goa'uld. Which, by the way, is still going, but he's just gonna leave. Okay. Now that he's allowed to return to his people, and his people need him, it makes sense for him to return. This would be very similar to Teal'c's situation. He only joined SG-1 to help free his people from the Goa'uld. At the end of the day, he considers Chulak his real home. In fact, last season when Teal'c was talking to Jonas, he told him that while he understands Earth's culture more now, it is still not his real home, and that after his time in SG-1 is done, he plans to return to Chulak with his son. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people say you don't say anything, and sometimes you say too much. Interpretive dance, maybe? I'll subtitle it in the edit. Maybe that'll shut them up. Exaggerated big week. Yeah, sure. As someone who's watched the entire verse several times over, hearing you say that episode was stupid after I pointed it out in my note already, or even if I think of it as a good one, we all have our opinions for it, and I don't think gators are particularly toxic. Yeah, this is definitely one of the fan bases I think that hasn't been very toxic. There are some fan bases that are really toxic, that if you pick a side in an argument, they will come for you. They will come for you. I've reacted to some of those fan bases. I'm not going to say which ones they are. But, yeah, Gateverse has been pretty chill. There's some fan bases in other sci-fi shows that will probably tell you off for saying anything bad about their show, though. Absolutely. It's funny that you decided not to look at the intro for 701 and 702. I re-edited those and put the intros to season 6 in there. No worries, Fruits, I got you. I've prepped all the way into Universe, which we're not getting into till 2025. Nothing but the best, but also I checked the season 7 intro. They added some shots from 622 in there. Close up of Daniel pulling off the Zoolander Magnum look, and maybe a new shot of SG-1 going through the gate. Be safe though. Enjoy. Well, I just wanted to, you know, be sure. I don't know. So it's not a lost city. It's a city that was made to be lost. Daniel said something about the ancients hiding it and erasing all mention of it from history. But where did they hide it? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Well, no. I mean, erasing all mention of it. People know that Atlantis exists, so like, it's not erased entirely. Yeah, Omar could have just dropped Daniel off on Earth, but then we wouldn't have this awesome Amnesia 2-parter where SG-1 finds him and brings him home. Sarcasm, yeah, I don't know. Villager, here's Jafar O'Neill. No, but he plays on TV. I've heard 2 stories about this. One is that this line almost didn't make it into the episode. Well, that's rude. One of the producers thought it was too fourth wall breaking. It was great. I loved it. But they kept it in regardless, and it became a bit of a fan favorite line. I've also heard the story of it being Richard Dean Anderson who ad-libbed it. If true, that might be why we can't see Sam's reaction to it, as she's trying not to laugh, as Amanda didn't see it coming. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a good line. The writer of 701 did some research. The villager called Daniel Aram, which they said meant naked one. Aram is Hebrew for naked. Naked. I like how the writers of Stargate use old Earth languages like that to make up their own alien languages. Ancient, for instance, is somewhat similar to Latin sometimes. However, considering the ancients lived on Earth long before we did, it predates Latin by a lot, of course. Having an old Earth language and these alien languages kind of match in sometimes obvious and sometimes subtle ways adds to the whole we all originated from Earth backstory there. Points to Stargate writers going extra. Yeah. It's kind of a dick move by Omar, and also an odd writing move to have Daniel come back with amnesia and then having him remember so fast. What was the point? Yeah, exactly. Remember when O'Neill got that knowledge from the ancients in his head and the Asgard took it out and left his memories intact? Why didn't the ancients just do that? Exactly. Oh, that's right. So this amnesia story could happen. Apparently consequences? I don't know. Jack, did I mention you owe me $50? Sounds like the kind of shit I'd say to a person with amnesia. I think the first time Daniel called Jack Jim, it was him legit not knowing. I choose to believe, however, the second time he called him Jim, it was just to mess with Jack. I think it's a bit of the humor between the two of them, which to me is just another indication of his memories were kind of coming back. Maybe. Yeah, an all-knowing god has a human with amnesia loose on board his ship and doesn't know where he's hiding. And these Jafar follow him. Why? Because they're stupid. Probably out of fear though, added later, and because someone says he's using some sort of token or isotope to mask his signature. Yeah, sure, because that would fool a god. Pretty weak god, I'm just saying. And the Jafar can be real stupid sometimes. Yeah. Little bit of a fuck up in the VFX of 702 when Carter and O'Neill travel to Kelowna. The 2 minutes standing at the DHG are semi-transparent for some reason. You can see part of the DHG through one of them and part of the steps towards the gate through the other. Added later, another fuck up is when Jonas and Daniel ring into the warehouse. The ring platform seems to be fixed into the warehouse surface because when activated you can see the ground open up. Why would the Kelowans have installed a ring platform if they didn't know what it was or know how to operate it? I don't know. These are good questions. Can we get some answers? Risky move to jump through a malfunctioning force field. That thing was going on and off fast and could have sliced Jonas into pieces while jumping through. Yeah. True, there's no rule that says SU team needs to be 4 people. Jonas could have stayed. I'm not sure why they wrote him out. He could have been just as helpful. Maybe real world wise it was a budget thing. Too many main cast members. I don't know, man. It just feels kind of icky to me. Fritz, you dum-dum. The Jafar Prime dude went through the Stargate on Kelowna. Anubis' ship got destroyed above Kelowna. 7 seasons and you should know You can't use a gate to connect to another gate on the same planet. Does that mean he just went to the ship that got destroyed? You had another attack of the stupid again, didn't you? You goof. I don't know. Jonas, hey Ben, hey Ben, eat my fist. Yep. That's now becoming canon. I'm gonna subtitle that shit into the edit. It sounded like that. Like, what the fuck would he... like, why was he talking about a fish we've never seen? Why didn't he take the fish with him? I just don't understand. Obviously, though, it was Daniel, feed my fish. But why the fuck would he just not take his fish with him? Exactly. Jonas is a bit of a dick here, there. Saddling Daniel with some fish. Also saddling me with some weird fucking context. Who the fuck does this shit? I guess Jonas didn't give a shit about his pet fish. He cared enough to tell him to feed it. Little shit probably didn't even have a name. Maybe the fish's name is Ben. You know, hey Ben, eat my... Oh god, what if it's, hey Ben, eat my fish? I don't know, man. Anyways, I hear things sometimes. I heard what I wanted to hear. Let's get into the episode.
General, what's this all about?
At 0920 hours this morning, someone tried to enter the base using this.
Colonel O'Neill's security ID.
After the person in question was taken into custody, he insisted on seeing you.
Thank you. Now we're getting somewhere. Sergeant.
Okay, this is a young version of him.
You know, anytime you feel
for
like
sure.
getting it.
O'Neill. I'm calling it right now.
He's a boy, sir.
As it turns out, Carter, yes I am. For the moment.
The way that he's speaking is so O'Neill.
Come on. It's me.
We tried to contact Colonel O'Neill, even sent someone to his house.
Do you understand how much trouble you're in right now? Impersonating a military officer is a federal offense.
I am not impersonating anyone.
Oh,
I am
zoom in.
Jack O'Neill.
I know. You don't have to zoom in and be like, ooh, I got that from the moment he started speaking. The cadence he was speaking in, it was O'Neill. He's already sold me on the performance. Ba ba na 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 ba na 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 ba na 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 ba na 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 bum 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 bum.
Finally.
He's wearing very baggy clothes.
Hot chocolate? Are you kidding?
Where did you get this?
I didn't get it anywhere. It's mine.
Because you're Colonel O'Neill.
Exactly.
They must have had
Last
Richard
night,
Dean
I ate some
Anderson
dinner,
like
had a beer.
working
Can we
real
please
hard with
just
him.
get to the part where you and Fraser run some tests, find a cure, make me big again.
This is the security breach?
Daniel, will you tell them who I am?
Okay, love to. Who are you?
This young man claims he's Colonel
I mean, why would you assume he knows?
That's a
Just
joke, right?
talk about all the classified information, you know.
What's going on?
Daniel!
Sounds like him. At least the loud grating parts.
Okay, you want proof? Carter, you once carried a Tok'ra named Jolinar who gave her life to save you. Daniel, until recently, you were an ascended being. You broke the rules, you got yourself kicked out of the Oma de Sala fan club, and had your memory erased. And you and Braytac both just lost your snakes in a Goa'uld ambush. Had your Tritonin yet this morning?
How could this child possess such knowledge?
Because it's me.
Dude, I'm sold on his performance. He's doing a great job.
How a boy could be aware of our most classified information?
Maybe
Well,
because
sir,
it's
it could be him.
Jack?
Physical resemblance.
But he can't be more than 15 years old. Are you saying Colonel O'Neill has
Yeah,
somehow
because we
regressed
haven't
more than
time
30 years
traveled
overnight?
Stranger things have happened.
or,
When would one?
you know,
Well, there was a time.
been in
ago,
parallel
the time we
universes.
became caveman, the time we all swapped bodies. And
Why don't we move on to the testing portion of this exercise? Are you certain, Doctor?
There is a tiny abnormality, but for all intents and purposes, it's him.
tiny abnormality, like the fact that he's suddenly quite a few years younger than he's supposed to be.
To be honest, this is out of my league. We've got some specialists flying in. We're gonna run
It always
tests,
is.
see what we can learn.
In the meantime, I suggest we try to make him as comfortable as possible.
I'll go set up a PlayStation.
No, I think you two are enjoying this just a little too much.
Well, you're kind of cute.
That's sir to you. And being trapped inside a scrawny little body isn't my idea of cute, Carter.
Kind of weird because
Does
there's
possessing a
like
younger
romantic
body not
tension
have
between
certain
them.
advantages on you?
No, not seeing it. What do you mean?
Do you not experience increased health and vitality?
My vitality was just fine, thank you.
I think what Teal'c is saying is valid. How many of us wouldn't trade everything for the chance to be young again? Live our lives over.
Yeah, well, I don't plan on staying like this.
Well, in the meantime, may I make a suggestion? Try enjoying this as much as we are. Sir?
Are you conducting some sort of scientific experiment on you?
Hey, come on, that salsa's still good.
It's a really empty fridge.
What was the last thing you ate, sir?
4 cheese burritos, some guacamole on the side.
We just had a scene of him
A
at a
beer, and I hit
cafeteria.
the sack.
So, whatever happened to you must have occurred once you were asleep.
Hey, do you mind?
So far, I like this episode a lot. Just want to say.
Teal'c.
Oh,
Whoa.
the Asgard.
O'Neill.
What is it?
Either I'm remembering a particularly bad dream, or the Asgard paid me a little visit last night.
How old
No
was this
offense, but
actor
what you're saying doesn't
at
make
this
any
point?
sense.
Curious.
Jack's account sounds like a number of UFO abduction case files I've read.
This you remember. My birthday you forget.
Looks like you'll have a lot more.
This encounter is incongruous with all previous contact we have had with the Asgard.
Thor has indicated that the Asgard had been keeping an eye on human development on Earth in the past.
But we're allies now. We've cooperated with them on a number of missions.
This, I would not have agreed to.
What could they possibly hope to gain from secretly making you younger against your will?
Maybe this has to do with them trying to like
I got nothing.
regenerate their bodies to be more human-like.
I'd like to cross-reference some of these.
Maybe
other
as a
abductions, see if
test.
I
I
can
don't
find
know. This is
Please.
just me
Major, I
spitballing.
believe
Oh my
you
god!
have
Imagine if I'm
briefing
right.
at 1300
So
hours.
weird.
Yes, sir, I'll be there.
Wait, the F-302 briefing? I thought I was running that.
Given your current situation, I feel it would be best if Major Carter handled it. I'm sure you can impart any information she needs to know to fill in the gap.
But now I'm the one who...
Good. Dismissed.
As your intel packages show, the F-302 is a space-worthy fighter interceptor aircraft reverse-engineered from Goa'uld technology. Your upcoming mission has been dubbed Operation Blue Phoenix. It'll be a live-fire combat simulation to test how well the 302 fares against actual death gliders. Captain.
Major, according to our mission reports, you were second seat on the most recent mission involving the 302.
Yes, and that one included close combat. We'll be covering what was learned in that encounter in this briefing.
Didn't Colonel O'Neill pilot that mission?
Yes, as a matter of fact, he did.
The Colonel also commanded the X-302 during both previous hyperspace window missions, didn't he, Major?
What's your point, Major?
With all due respect, ma'am, shouldn't Colonel O'Neill be running this briefing?
Colonel O'Neill is unavailable.
She's just as
However,
valid to do
prepared
so.
several
She was
computer
there.
models which should help you understand how the 302 handles in combat situations.
Major, no offense, but those aren't going to help me when I'm pulling 6 Gs in a dogfight against an alien ship.
As you should know, Captain, the 302 has inertial dampening systems, which I am more than qualified to explain in detail. So let's just
drop by and say, ow!
stay focused.
Relax, sir. Okay, I'm warning you, sir. Please, stay there. Didn't I just say I was warning you? Hey!
You can release him.
I'll forego the charges for assaulting a superior officer. Carter?
Breaking the rules.
Could have taken him.
Sure.
Sorry I'm late.
We were just covering the 302's flight capabilities.
Well then, I'm just in time. Here's what you need to know.
You're not supposed to
Major's
be
just-
here.
No, this is Colonel O'Neill.
I'm only gonna say this once, so I'd suggest that you listen up.
Whatever you say.
Hey, I realize that it doesn't actually say Colonel anywhere on my uniform, but it should.
Yes, sir.
Now, velocity is key during engagement with the glider. Oh, yeah, and the inertial dampeners only compensate 90% when pulling negative Gs. Okay.
You're not supposed to be here.
Death Gliders 101.
May I ask why the United States Air Force has taken a renewed interest in my story after 26 years?
Well, all I can tell you is that we have some new information.
Will it prove my story true?
Maybe.
Please tell us what happened to you.
I was asleep in my bed, and a light appeared in my room and took me.
Took you where?
Some kind of spacecraft, I suppose. I was weightless, floating in midair. And yet,
It's dark. Cold. I couldn't move a muscle even though I was wide awake.
After the light hit you, then what?
It made me slow dance.
He said that after the small green sphere stopped scanning him, they
I
left
like
him
this.
alone
It's
for a
not
long
just
while.
like this Americans.
And then a voice spoke to him, telling him not to be afraid and that he would soon be safe again.
Could you ask Professor Wu if he actually saw who was speaking to him?
해먹긴도 그래요.
All the accounts are basically identical. They all match Jack's version of events exactly.
Except none of them experienced any kind of physical changes as a result of the abduction.
No, they didn't, but everything else is bang on. Now, admittedly, all this does sound familiar. Cliche, even if you watch enough TV. But they all described 4 green globes that seem to defy gravity, buzzing around them like insects.
So why is O'Neill
That's too
different
specific a
here?
detail to be a coincidence.
The being that abducted them. I assume they described an Asgard as well.
Short, big eyes, no hair, weird voice.
The Asgard haven't responded to our attempted communications.
Well, if help is coming, it better arrive soon.
PlayStation 2.
How you doing?
Well, I think I'm getting another zit. And, oh, yeah, I'm still a kid. But beyond that, I'm doing just peachy, thanks. Why?
Janet's just finished going over the genetic team's analysis of your test results.
How bad can it be?
You're probably not feeling the effects yet, but something is happening to your body at the cellular level. Basically, your genetic structure is growing more unstable, but... Colonel, you're dying.
I don't know if we needed this. Up the stakes thing here. I don't know. It could have been just a cute little story about him being a teenager and then, like, wanting to just change back. You know,
Honestly,
appreciating his age. You know?
Start to notice symptoms
Like,
as the condition worsens.
I don't know if we needed him to be dying.
It's hard to say.
I don't know. That's just me.
Say it anyway.
Weeks, days, I don't know. You'll notice fatigue first. In the end, your body's vital organs will completely shut down.
It's like something inside you is causing a total system failure.
I don't get it. We help save their skinny asses from the replicators, and as a thanks, they shrink me and leave me to die.
We're exploring every option we have, Colonel. We just need you to hang in there.
Selmac has had a chance to digest some of the DNA test results we've been collecting. And it seems Colonel O'Neill's condition isn't what we first thought.
He isn't dying?
He is dying, but we think we know the cause. When we first compared Colonel O'Neill's DNA samples to the ones we had on file, the match was almost perfect.
Almost. You said there was a tiny abnormality.
That's right. Selmac thinks he knows why.
This is not Colonel O'Neill.
He's doing
a
a
clone.
bang-up job. He's doing a really, like...
I see. Keep me informed.
I wonder if it is what I'm thinking now.
No word yet.
What I suggested. I don't know.
What exactly do we call him at this point?
Duplicate O'Neill?
So we think we have a clear idea of what might be going on.
Please enlighten me.
We know that the Asgard clone themselves.
Their very existence depends on their ability to clone their bodies and then transfer their consciousness from one to the next.
But they suffer from grave medical conditions due to thousands of years of cloning.
Which will ultimately lead to the fall of their civilization if they can't solve the problem of diminishing returns on their cloning technology.
What does this have to do with Colonel O'Neill?
We had the abductee's DNA that Duke and I interviewed scanned for the same abnormalities as Duplicate O'Neill. As far as we can tell, none of them are clones.
Which means?
Well, in all likelihood, the Asgard responsible took the original people and replaced them with duplicates so as not to arouse suspicion.
They studied the originals for a period of time and then switched them back.
You think whoever took the real Colonel O'Neill is going to return him?
It's all we've got, sir. We're hoping the fact that Colonel O'Neill's clone didn't fully mature is a mistake.
What makes you think that?
The previous actions of the Asgard responsible indicated his desire to remain covert.
Jack's clone's condition is a dead giveaway.
So it's a good bet the Asgard doesn't even know there's a problem, or else he would have tried to fix it.
Well, they'll figure it out when they try to switch him back.
If they try to switch.
Are you saying if we don't track down the young duplicate, we may not get the real Colonel O'Neill back?
Well, no, we're sure the Asgard would be able to find him if he wants. That's not the real issue.
We wish to apprehend the Asgard responsible.
Intercepting the next switch may be our only shot.
Unless you brought beer, that's close enough.
Those guys going off to get some beer. I'd like to think that.
A man from whom you recently bought bait said he recommended this river.
And tell Jacob thanks for trying, but I'm not interested in the deep freeze deal.
We're not here to take you to the Toker. There may not be much time.
Never is there?
Okay, well, there's no easy way to tell you this, so Sam's just gonna come right out and say it.
Well, sir, as you know, the Asgard depend on a cloning technology
Oh, for crying out loud.
You have been cloned, O'Neill.
What?
I think the Asgard took the real you and made a copy. An unstable one at that.
The real me?
Yeah, the original. That's not your real anything. I'm sorry.
Kind of weird because he was wearing O'Neill's clothes,
Where's
and
the
you would
original?
assume that like he was like
well, that's
shrunk
what we
down
hope to find out. But we need
in
your
those
help.
clothes. I don't know.
Carter, you still got your ears on?
Picture of Eminem.
Yes, sir.
Daniel? Teal'c?
Everything appears to be normal, O'Neill.
Yeah, not to me.
You want to go over the instructions I gave you again?
Don't worry, Carter. I'm sure I'll figure it out.
Kind of weird that that clearly happened, but then it was delayed for her to see it. I don't know.
Jack! Jack!
O'Neill.
What are you all doing in my bedroom?
Hello. Do not be afraid.
Okay. Wrong console. Far right jewel thingy. Up.
Yeah, I was having the weirdest dream.
Hey, see, Carter? Told you it was no problem.
What's going on?
Wow.
I feel like you should be asking, why is there a young version of me? I mean, you would have pictures of yourself.
Carter?
Colonel O'Neill, meet Colonel O'Neill.
What's going on? We're pretty sure this Asgard over here kidnapped you and attempted to replace you with a clone.
How long was I asleep?
7 days.
It's a record. So you're...
Me? Yeah. Believe me, if you think it's weird, imagine how I feel being the copy.
He is awakened.
What's happening?
We were kind of hoping you could tell us.
No. This is all wrong.
Hey, I'll tell you what's wrong. I just woke up, haven't had coffee, let alone a pee in 7 days, and I find out you stole my ass and made a mini-me. Carter, I should be irked currently, yes?
Yes, I would be.
Why don't you tell us who you are?
Loki.
According to Norse mythology, that's the god of...
You're Loki. Oh, God.
What did you want with Colonel O'Neill?
I have nothing more to say to any of you.
Hey, we just saved your flat little white asses from the replicators. This is the thanks we get?
Hey, at least you're gonna live.
What?
Maybe you're a little put out, but this guy didn't hit all the right buttons on the Xerox. This body is gonna fall apart if he doesn't fix me.
I cannot. All the clones suffer the same fate. I am a scientist, a former geneticist with the Asgard ruling council.
Former.
I was stripped of my stature after I was caught performing unsanctioned experiments on humans.
What, you've got sanctioned ones?
I merely had the courage to do what was necessary to advance our cloning technology.
And how did that go?
Courage, some might call it a lack of morality.
Our population cannot withstand the duplication process for much longer.
Well, how can experimenting on humans change that?
Your bodies are similar to our original form thousands of years ago. Using your physical makeup as a template, I had hoped to find a way to construct a clone that could contain our massively superior intellect. My research was unsuccessful.
So much for massively superior intellect.
I was going to say that.
I was going to say it was unsuccessful prior to my being caught and banished. I would have found what I needed eventually.
Why risk coming back here and breaking the law after 19 years?
Because I thought he was the one.
Me?
I believed his genetic code contained the key.
Why?
Mine? Stop it.
He was physiologically advanced enough to carry and utilize all the data from the ancients' repository of knowledge. That would not be possible for any human one generation ago. He is a significant step forward on your evolutionary path.
You just found this out recently?
I learned about it when all the Asgard did. O'Neill is legendary. Most recently, the Asgard fleet has been distracted by the war with the replicators and subsequent relocation of our people.
So you took the opportunity when no one was looking to sneak back here.
I do not regret my actions. I am
Really?
trying to save my people.
Someone dying.
Look, I know this isn't all
You
about
created
me,
life,
but
and
come on.
that life is going to die.
Seriously, I'm dying here.
I cannot reverse your fate. Nor can I explain why you did not mature to the proper age as you should have.
Well, easy to see why they kicked you out of the science club.
Can you call Thor on this thing?
Please, do not.
We've already tried contacting the Asgard a number of times. Okay, pretty sure that's it.
Loki, what have you done?
Yeah, seems he's been playing Dr. Moreau behind your back.
You know why I am here.
You should have known O'Neill's genetic coding was safeguarded for his own protection.
Excuse me?
A marker was placed in your DNA to prevent any attempts at genetic manipulation.
Oh?
The abnormality.
That's why the clone didn't mature.
Yes, Loki will be punished for his actions.
Is it true that Colonel O'Neill is the key to solving your cloning problems?
No.
But I thought I was advanced.
Indeed you are, O'Neill. But our scientists have already determined that while you are an important step forward in the evolutionary chain, the missing link we have been searching for still eludes us.
I'm sorry.
Again, I apologize for any inconvenience Loki may have caused.
Yeah, that's what I'd call it.
Unfortunately, the eventual genetic breakdown of the clone is not my doing, but rather a result of Loki's inept methods.
There was no need for the clones to survive.
You can't just let me die.
He's just a kid.
Are you certain, O'Neill?
I'm thinking.
I will attempt to repair his DNA. He should continue to mature.
Could they not
at a
use
normal
the
human rate.
there was a DNA altering thingy-majiggy that we came across last season, but it was destroyed, I think. Are you a dad again? Are you a dad to yourself? That's funny. Is there a movie like this?
You sure about this?
Where, like, a clone,
I've thought a lot about it.
like a teenage clone of a guy becomes his dad? Curious.
I mean, we never really did embrace high school. I don't know, haven't you ever just wanted to go back and do it all over again?
This feels like a really random choice.
Well, from here on in, you and me are different. Which is why I'm gonna do this.
Hey, listen, do me a favor, huh?
Don't worry, I wasn't gonna keep in touch.
Yeah, just be a little...
Weird.
Where's he gonna live?
Weird. Yeah. But look, if you need anything, just, you know...
Air Force has set me up. I'll be
Okay.
fine.
You sure about this? Yes. Go forth, young man.
What a bizarre song for a Stargate. Very teenagery, like, so bizarre choice. Well, he gets to live. Is he gonna keep the name Jack O'Neill though? Like, so many questions. Hey, what's up you guys? Quick interruption here. As you are no doubt aware, these past few years have been tough on all of us. And there are some things that none of us can hide from. The cost of living, for instance, food and things like electricity, gas, and water have all gone up, and they continue to go up. Now, I don't really like to advertise this, but in order to afford keeping the lights on, the camera running, and to be able to provide you guys with new content like this very edit, for example, I feel I need to let you guys know about how you can help support the channel and myself. I have a Patreon that if you pledge to, you're helping support the channel, and in return, you can get a vast amount of content that you wouldn't regularly get on YouTube, such as full unedited reactions to my regular content, a ton of other shows and movies that you probably don't even know that I've reacted to. A link to this can be found in the description below, and it really does help the channel by keeping me and my very cute cats alive. Think of the cats. If you're interested, you can also check out our website, which is also linked below. Perhaps there's some shows and movies there that you didn't even know that I reacted to, but you always wanted to see. Please know, pledging is entirely your own choice, of course. You're welcome to stay here on YouTube and wait for the edits to come out. No worries. I'm not going anywhere. More edits are coming. I understand not everyone is in the position to support creators, but any help is welcome. Anyways, thank you for your continued support, whether it's through YouTube or on Patreon. You guys are the best. Now please, enjoy the rest of the video. Well, that was Stargate SG-1, Season 7, Episode 3. I liked it. I thought it was a cute episode. I think the actor did a fucking great job portraying O'Neill. That was directed by Peter DeLuise. Was he Loki? Or was he one of the people? Curious. No, he did a great job. I'm really, really impressed. Yeah, he was Loki. Right, so yeah, no, I liked that episode. Weird ending, I think. I mean, it's nice that he gets to live, but a weird ending that he's like, oh, I want to go to high school, and some high school song plays in the background, like some teen music, I don't know. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about it. What did you guys think? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.